Zelena, what did you roll for your
Uh,
athletics?
19.
19,
7.
10,
7.
13.
7, and 13. Okay, I mean, that's not horrible.
Quest Portal says I rolled a 29, but please disregard. It says I
You're
add
fine.
20 for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. I wish it was true. But it says not.
Well, you tear off through the darkened streets of Crimson Island after the mysterious man. The city guards are hot on your heels. Stop, murderers! One of the guards yell out. The dark-haired man sprints down the narrow alleyways at a breakneck speed, his armor glinting in the moonlight. Soon, the elegant buildings turn to rough wooden tenements. You end up on a narrow road deep in the slums as you're running away from guards. First, Zelena. You see that there is a brawl ahead of you in progress as you're running. Make a DC 15 strength, dex, or charisma saving throw.
Strength, Dex, or Charisma?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go Strength.
Okay.
22.
You beat it. You
Hell
get
yeah.
past the brawlers unimpeded. How does Zelena do that?
Alright, so it's gonna kind of be like one of those Matrix scenes where like fists are flying, someone fell over backwards, and she is just like twirling gracefully like through it. She got shoved a little bit, didn't affect her, kept going, ducked and swirled underneath a fist. Like she's moving, she's booking.
I'm into it. I'm liking it. Okay, so you succeed through yours. Ding. Alara. A maze of barrels, crates, and other things block your way. Make a DC dexterity or intelligence saving throw, your choice, to navigate this maze.
Definitely an intelligence.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's a natural 1.
Oh no.
All right. So all right. So as you're running, you get to this maze of barrels and crates and other things, stalls, a stall of cabbages, if you will. What does that look like for Alara?
Because she fails, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna go right into the cabbages, like falling into the cabbages. So she just like tears up the cabbages. She's covered in green. She's like, ah, fuck. She's like, my cabbages.
All right. So the guards get one jump closer. Thea, a crowd blocks your way ahead. Make a DC 10 strength, dex, or charisma saving throw to navigate through.
You're so quiet on mine. Hold on. What do you want me to roll?
Strength, dex, or charisma.
We're gonna go with charisma.
Okay.
13 plus 5. Or
Okay.
so 13 plus 3, 16.
Yep, you succeed. What does that look like with her using her charisma?
So I didn't hear what was going on.
There's just a bunch of people.
Uh, she starts running through the crowd and she realizes that it's blocked off. So she's just like, "Please excuse me." She tries it first, and then she's just like, "Oh, wait, look over there. There's a giant sale at that stall. I need
Oh
to go
my
check
god.
it out." And she gets everyone's attention enough so she can zip through.
As you do this, everyone's like, "Oh," like they're looking at the jewel, whatever on sale, and you see that your friend has fallen over some cabbages. You have the chance to help
I will help my friend Alara from
her.
her cabbage demise.
All right, so you guys are back on the run. Um, Finally, all the three of you kind of catch up, and the mysterious man is also kind of like running you, just a little bit in front of you. Um, then you find yourself down a narrow road deep in the slum. Suddenly, a group of guards runs around a corner ahead of you and aims their crossbows. Stop right there! This is your last chance. The Dark Man sends a flare of shadowy energy towards the guards, blasting them off their feet. As you and your companions dash past them, Azrael, Saren, and Cormac are at the other end, casually talking by the tavern that they were going to meet at earlier. They see what's going on and start to panic. Saren looks over his shoulder, sees a small alleyway where there's a door, pushes open the door, and says, "In here!" You dash into the abandoned tenement building and run for the far wall, where you crouch in the shadows with your companion. Everyone roll stealth.
Okay. I think I might use the
Oh, I still
computer.
rolled 21.
15.
What is it?
I love Ash's faces that she makes. They make me so like I miss them so much sometimes, and then she makes them in it.
I
Oh,
wrote an 11. I think I might
Okay.
use Quest Portal from now on.
Zelena got a 21.
Okay.
ditto.
Okay. And
Oh,
then what did you get?
16.
Okay. So several footsteps approach the tenement, and a figure blocks out the light in the doorway. He yells out, "Keep searching the streets. I'll check the buildings." As the rest of the guards clatter away, this one takes a tentative step inside, raising his lantern high. You hold your breath, certain he can hear the thunder in your hearts. He scans, passes over Azrael and Zelena, hidden. Thea, Saren, and Cormac also hidden. And just as his light goes towards Alara, someone calls his name. His light doesn't quite reach you, and he turns and heads back out into the alley. You wait for the guard's shout to fade away, before the mysterious man lets out deep. What do you do?
What trouble did you three, well, four, get into?
It wasn't our fault.
Mm,
It's a misunderstanding. Completely
mm-hmm.
misunderstanding.
Really.
Zol.
Oh, if I had $1 for every time I got in trouble for something I didn't do. Or
How many dollars would
something
you
I
have?
did.
Yeah.
Actually, a fair amount, but definitely at least one today. We
We
really
did it.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, they like accused us of something we didn't do. Like, oh my god, we're the people that we're supposed to be looking for. And then like the bad man that wasn't the man he actually was came out, and then this like hottie over here would like want pew pew at them and kept going pew pew at them. She want to say hottie, but this dark,
gonna be
strange
like-
man over here.
What they say is true. But why were they after you in the first place? What has linked you to them? And he steps forward towards Alara. The smell of like brimstone and bonfire kind of wafts through the air as he gets closer. None of
Laura
you
stands her
seem
ground.
tainted. His eyes flick over you all, and it glares red for a second before going back to his dark.
Did you say tainted?
With the shadow.
What shadow?
Don't be daft. The shadow.
Why would they be looking for something that's tainted?
You must not know that unless you're playing dumb.
I never play dumb. It's not in
So
my
then
nature.
speak.
We have no shadows attached to us at all.
I've noticed.
So
But why is the Shadow Court after you?
a misunderstanding must be. We must look like somebody that they actually want to be after. She like looks at Thea like,
We really just stopped into this town for supplies, and we were off on our way.
Interesting. Seems our paths have crossed. I've been on the hunt for a while, and I came to Crimson Island because I've been tailing the mayor. He's been corrupted, tainted.
see, I
Doesn't
told you,
seem
Az.
good.
I take it back. I'm sorry.
Azrael Nightshade, I do believe.
Correct.
It's an
Do
honor
you know
to be in your
everybody?
presence.
You seem formidable enough. It's an honor being yours.
The name's Devlin, of House Malbon.
Nice to meet you.
The pleasure's mine. Now, since we have decided that none of you are all tainted by shadow, you must know about the shard.
The shard, like
The
the
obsidian shards.
yeah, we've heard of it. I mean, everybody
There's
has,
just
right?
legend.
Yes, legend.
Do you know where it is, or how to like
Well,
cleanse it and stuff?
there is a ritual that can be done, but he looks down at his fingers and like the rings and things that he. There's a shard nearby. A shard that on my ring has glown just today. Similar to when you guys said you arrived.
How crazy! It must be somewhere in the city. What a coincidence. I
Are we
mean, you should go
sure that
look
the
for it,
mayor
and
doesn't
we need to
happen?
go.
What?
I said, are you sure the mayor doesn't happen?
The mayor is dead. I killed him.
Oh, yeah. You guys failed to mention that.
Minor details.
Mm, that explains the guards after you.
I didn't do it.
And you know I would never.
Zol.
Well,
At the moment, I do not recall killing him, but
Though I
maybe if you
am
show me his
intrigued.
picture.
What was that black energy that came out of your hands with those guards in the way?
You noticed. Shadow.
so are you tainted?
Unfortunately.
So they were looking for you.
I was looking for them. I just happened to be the first to pounce. And I will not stop until all the shards are cleansed and the shadow erased.
What happens to you if the shadow court's erased?
Hopefully, I too shall be cleansed and bathed
Fair
in the
enough.
smoke and the light.
Well, if you are, I'd rather be on your side against the shadow court than anything else. So, any way I can help, let me know.
I have seen what the Shadow Court has done, and they have corrupted enough innocent people. I will not stand idly by to allow them to do more. I shall too wish to join you all, if you'll have.
You protected my group. That's all I could ask for.
Alright, hold up. Just wait a minute here. We're adding another person to the party. We already don't have a lot of supplies.
Do you
Right.
want more protection, or do you want to go join the mayor dead in the streets? because the Shadow Court seems to be after all of us.
Quite honestly, I'd like a huge payload to live off the rest of my days on an island where there are no courts at all.
Isn't that where we're going? To go see the orcs. So that
That's
way you
right.
can get the.
We're going to take Dark and Scary over here aboard the Zeppelin.
Yes, that's good backup and coverage for the Zeppelin.
We
Especially
come here. What?
We came here for supplies. We can
We
get
come for supplies
supplies.
and a star chart.
And
We come here for one, and now we gain two.
correct. But
Three.
we're going to need someone to help out with watching the Zeppelin, especially if you take your bodyguard with you with the orcs. I know you
Yeah.
think we're strong enough to handle it, but Princess over here, and Book Reader, and me might get into some trouble if you leave us all alone with the Zeppelin. So, an extra hand that is good against the Shadow Court, as we've seen already, is not a bad idea.
All right, fine. But we have to go get Priya first.
That is fine. Let's go get Priya.
She said that.
Wait. Before anything, how do we know that we can trust you, Devlin? I'm sorry, but if you're tainted with the shadows, you don't even know what our mission is. You just know that the Shadow Court wants us.
Yeah, and I've already protected you once out of my own volition. Oh, oops. I've already protected you once out of my own volition.
Yes, but it was also saving your own butt.
I mean, to
I
be fair,
get
he
it.
could have left you.
Could have, but we would have been fine. We would have
You
figured
would
it
have gone
out.
to prison.
There's
Who
like
knows what would
8
have happened
guards
then?
between you guys and us.
I prefer to stay out of prison or any government body.
Why do you want to come? Why do you want to come with us? You know nothing.
Oh, I can tell you that I know a lot more than you ever.
He does seem to know quite a bit about these Shadowlands, and regardless of how long his wagon is hitched to ours, he could be of use to us in some way, and he clearly helped us today, so if he wants to come with us, I say we let him come with us. But as far as convincing Saren, I mean, Devlin, you have anything you can offer him?
Offer.
Saren? You got like 5 gold on you can toss his way?
He pulls out a pack from his side and he shakes it around, and you can tell this man has.
See, Saren, he'll be useful to keep around, so I think he
And
should come with us.
so an elven noble. We've already got a princess. Now we've got a prince. Prince of Light. Princess of Light. Prince of Shadow. Oh, God, I
You
already see
know,
the books coming in right now.
I
I'll
was
write a
gonna
ballad about it
say,
by morning.
exactly. Use it to write your books.
Money.
Use it to write your songs.
All
I'm
right,
not a
Cormac, what do you
princess.
think? Yeah. Hush now, princess. The gentlemen are talking. So, if we have him join us, is that you think that would be all right, Cormac? Yeah, as long as he stays away from me. His red eye things kind of freak me out, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and that flicker of light. I thought it was just candlelight, but then I realized there's no cat. That's enough talking. We have a druid to save.
Yeah, we have a druid to save, everybody. Druid to save.
That's right. You guys didn't meet me in the tavern. My friend Priya. See, she's a druid. Very, very, very important when it comes to mapping the stars, the moons, the suns, all the planets, and all that mamby-pamby, wishy-washy nonsense. Now, the important thing is she knows how to map the stars. And if we're mapping the stars, that will get us to where we need to go. She said she wasn't able to leave with me until her master was dealt with. Well, judging by the blood dripping off of Devlin's rapier, the mayor was killed. Am I correct? Devlin said, yes. See, perfect. So she's officially out of her contract by
Cute.
fate or destiny or whatever you want to believe in. But it
Okay.
is in an all agreement that we are bringing along Devlin. Yes?
You said you were afraid of him in the first place and he had a scary face. Scary face?
Yeah, that was before he had money.
Well,
I agree.
I say we bring him. I wasn't interested in the first place. So I kind of got in this situation with them. My bad.
No, you're fine. All right. And then Az. Yes?
I'm fine.
All right, so that leaves us our not princess, but princess of light.
My name's Thea.
Right.
You can call me Thea.
Oh,
Fine, since everyone else agrees, I will. But we'll be watching you, Devlin. How do we know you're not from the Court of Shadows yourself?
Because
You
I
said
haven't
yourself
healed you.
playing the long game.
but what does that get him? The easiest thing for him would have been if he was
You
part
know
of the
it.
court. The easiest thing that he could have done there was to, if he's part of the court, then he could have just pushed you into the guards and called it there.
Actually, I have an idea. And Devlin goes over, he peeks out the door, closes it, locks it, puts his hands together, pulls forward a piece of magic, and casts Zone of Truth.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Everyone in this room is now having to speak their truths.
Alara goes first.
I, Devlin, of House Malborn, do declare I have nothing against anyone in this room and will do whatever it takes to see the Shadow end. Better?
Yes, fine, you can come.
Now tell me if you have the shard.
Yes.
I knew it. That's fine. Just
Not
do
touching it.
not touch it, or you'll end up like me,
Ooh,
So you've touched one.
unfortunately.
forced to?
Which one?
There is a night of pure darkness out there gathering followers.
Oh, we've met him.
Oh, so then you've been marked. He
You've
will
been what?
stop at nothing until you've been marked. He will stop at nothing until he sees you a rat or a part of the team.
Well, I already poofed his team away, so I don't know who else he'll find.
Well, he had more followers here. It doesn't take much to influence the weak minded. That's his job. Now, if we have a way out of here, we need to go. If he is on our tail, I'm not sure how much the 7 of us could handle him.
Agreed. Saren?
Well, let's go get the girl and get out of here.
Right. Get Priya, pay the docking fees. Does anybody have money for the docking?
Get Priya, get back on the airship, and get out of town.
Not
How much
pay
is
the
docking? How much is docking fees?
I just normally like
20?
I think we
Well,
can scrounge that up.
I can always distract the docking. What do they call them?
The
dock
group already
workers.
committed one crime today. We could at least pay our fees.
Well, you see, the thing is I owe back.
Yeah, exactly. I could distract them, and then you guys get the airship started, throw down the ladder, and I'll grab on and we leave.
I like this plan. Man after my own heart. nudges you on the side, and it's just all like pure like muscle and armor. And he's like, "Jeez." All right,
Well, let's get Priya first.
Bria
Just
first, then
yeah.
we'll discuss this Thea.
Perfect. I love this idea. Thank you all, and Devlin, welcome. Your purse is just absolutely welcomeable. All right. So you all head out into the slums and eventually head back up towards the towers of the where other ships like hot air balloons and other zeppelins and even down below skivs and just a whole bunch of different type of transportation um, uh, devices there being docked. You see the zeppelin off in the distance, kind of tied up, where there are some dock workers working there um, as well. And then hold on. And then as you approach it, a gentle hum of like celestial energy tinges to the air. Perched on a stack of cargo crates, swinging her legs absent-mindedly, is an elf with wild auburn curls seem to dance along in the breeze. Her tan skin glows faintly under the setting sun, and her golden eyes shimmer as if filled with stardust. She tilts her head as she notices you all, a dreamy smile gracing her lips. Oh, there you are, Sharon, and friends. I was worried that the stars might change their minds and send you somewhere else. That would have been a terribly inconvenient, wouldn't it? She hops down from her perch, her long flowing robes adorned with silver embroidery that glows softly in the twilight. Tiny motes of light flit around her like fireflies, winking in and out of existence. I'm Priya. She extends her hands. Druid of the moon, speaker of dreams, an occasional friend to wayward spirits. The wind told me we were to meet. Who am I to argue with the wind? She twirls once, arms outstretched, before fixing on you with a knowing gaze. Now, tell me, has my master been relieved of this world? Am I finally free?
Yes.
Yes, I believe he has.
This was
Well,
spooky.
spirits. That's wonderful. He was an awfully horrible man.
Thea, this one seems right up your alley.
Yep.
Hi. Yes. So he. It does seem that you are free now.
Praise the stars above. Thank you all.
Well, actually, you should be thanking him. And she points to Devlin.
Oh dear. Hello there. Um, oh. Well, let's go ahead and get aboard the ship then. And she stands a few inches away from Duff.
Don't worry, he's all face.
Face. Explain that one to me later.
No.
Hey.
Zol will reach out her hand and say, "Hi, I'm Zol. What's your name?"
Zol. You can call me Priya.
Priya. Nice to meet you, Priya.
Thank you. She reaches and touches her hands, and her eyes glass over like get kind of milky white. And then she lets go, and she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Anyways, let's go ahead. And she like twirls and jumps in the air, and then like misty like firelight kind of helps her jump up as she reaches onto the ladder and starts climbing. One of the dock workers comes over with a big like clipboard in his hands. He goes, "Hey, hold on just a second there, Missy. We got 240. How you owe 240 today for docking fees."
Alright, I'll talk to you over here while they get on board. I'm the one that actually runs the ship's money.
Oh, some type of person. I see. Well, let's talk. And he kind of goes over with you. The
Uh,
rest of you.
As much as Laura hates it, she'll start climbing onto the ship.
Thea looks over at Az, like, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Sarah grabs around Thea and says, "Come on, darling, let's go."
Do not call me that.
Oh yeah, whatever, princess.
Nor that. And she obliges and goes up the ladder.
so much.
Cormac kind of stands in front of Zol and he's like, "After you."
Zol's gonna make eye contact with Az and like give him a nod, like, "Are you good?" kind of thing,
Mhm.
and she'll go up the ladder.
Cormac follows, and Devlin kind of takes a look around, throws his hood up, and puts a pipe into his mouth and starts walking up aboard the ship. So the dock worker, he stands with his back to the ship, and he's going over, and he goes, "All right, registration expired 2 seasons ago. With interest, I mean, we're looking at least 370 here."
Hey, now you said 250 first.
Right, but with interest, late fees, that type of thing.
All right, give me a second. And Az would pull like his like little satchel bag and just like start like running through. And he has like just a bunch of like papers in it, all blank, but just a bunch of papers. He's like running through, like, all right, well, there's registration. All right, there's this one. There's and like he would like look over and be like, hey, what's going on with the ship? And like look at the ship real quick, and then he'll look back down. And it's like trying to see like where everyone's at in the ship, if everyone's like aboard, and like if it's like starting up or anything.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, okay, let me grab these out, and like he'll pull out the, like the papers and place them down, put the bag over top of it, so you can't see that they're all blank. And he'll be like, okay, so we need registration. What else?
Well, I'm gonna need your registration for your ship. I'm gonna need your insurance papers as well as
Okay,
your driver's ability, and 417 points.
right, to make up for the insurance and everything. I do
Right.
love how it keeps getting more and more expensive after every conversation.
I have no
So
idea what you're talking about.
at this point, is the ship started?
Oh yeah, it's ready to go. She's ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna go grab the money from Vark. He'll be standing at the edge of the ship by this point, and then all the paperwork is right there. You can start going through it as I go grab the money from him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just make sure it's at least 528.
I got 600 gold ready for you. Okay,
Okay, who said anything about 600?
to make it even. I don't like numbers, and I'm not gonna try to
Oh,
downplay you because 500 out of 518 is not fair for you guys for the interest that's accrued. So I'm gonna go grab the 600. I'll call it even
800.
across the board. 800.
Yeah, 800.
Just call it an even 1,000. Okay, I'll go
Okay.
grab the even 1,000. You can start going through the paperwork. And we'll go from there. Okay,
Sounds good.
and I'll be right back. I'm gonna run over there real quick, and then Az will just sprint towards the airship.
All right, let's see here.
I
We
think
got
that's our cue. Start going, Saren.
a penis.
Step on the gas.
He like looks around. He's like, "What the hell is this?" Again.
Again.
He writes down on the paperwork 1,000 gold.
My God.
It's not my money. It's fine.
And then you guys head off into the evening sun as it just is bright and beautiful, and onto the next adventure up in the air. So now you have time to kind of hang out and
Alara's still hiding in the corner of the ship, eye goggling Devin. She's sitting there with a book in front of her, like pretending to read, and she's actually just drawing Devin, like sketching him.
oh, you read your books upside down too.
Yeah, sometimes it's a sacred language in between the writing.
Whoa. You know about dribbles?
Yeah. Um, don't know that
Secret
word.
messages in the writing of the
Dribbles,
It,
yes.
Theo walks over. What are dribbles?
the secret language of authors and in the writing. See? And she takes Alara's book and she doesn't even look at it. She just shows it to Thea. And there's like a little hearts around Dub. Mrs. Fiona Charming.
Oh.
Yes, it's very picturesque.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, Priya, it's nice to meet you. I'm Thea.
Thea, and she curtsies to you.
See, you are a princess.
You're a princess. Oh, then I must curtsy lower.
No, no, no. I'm not. I'm not.
As
I'm
in the
not.
background, will just laugh out loud. See, you are princess. Pretty lower.
Oh, well, your majesty, it is not
No.
time for games.
What? No. Please. I
Oh.
am not royalty whatsoever.
Opposite day was a fortnight ago.
I think you're gonna lose this one, and I like it.
Oh, I love this.
I'm of no royalty whatsoever. My family isn't even rich. We're poor.
You don't have to be rich to be a princess. And you don't have to be beautiful, but you really are pretty.
Thank you, Priya.
Of
But
course.
really, I'm no one.
Well, you're someone to me.
Thank you. I know we've just met, but you're very
Oh,
nice.
I've met your soul a lot of times.
My soul?
Yes, you've been touched by the sun.
Heard of that before?
Solus told me.
You
Speak to
spoke
him?
to.
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, I'm much more closer to Luna, but Solus sometimes does speak to me in my dreams. And her eyes go glossy as she looks at you, Thea. And then the eye, that milky white, goes away, similar to what Zelena saw earlier. And she goes, "Oh, that's awful."
What is?
What do you mean?
It's awful. You just said something.
I did?
And you looked like you were seeing something, but not here.
Sometimes I do black out, but I don't know.
As long as you're fine.
And what did you say your name was? And she looks over at Alara.
Alara kind of sinks back into her hood a little more, trying to cover her eyes, and she's like, Alara. That's my name. Alara. And she stuffs her hands like in her cloak a little bit.
Ooh, and she follows suit. I love this greeting, and she bows to you.
Cool. Hey.
Darklings are absolutely fascinating. Did you know you were once connected to the darkness?
Oh, I know. I've been told.
But that's just a lot of stereotyping when it comes to darklings. They're not all evil.
Nope. Definitely. Nope. None of us. A lot of us aren't. Yep. A lot of us aren't evil.
Did your family come from the Shadow Courts?
Uh, no.
Oh, too bad. I have so many questions.
Devil might be able to answer some of them. He
Who?
seems to know a lot. Dark and broody over there.
Oh, that's okay.
What's? Why
You
don't you
don't like
like
him,
him?
Priya?
No, his aura is very, very hell.
I
Ah,
Good.
mean, I get it. I don't really trust him. I mean, kind of, I must because of what he said. But
what do you say?
we had a zone of truth, and he just wants to take down the Shadow Court.
The Shadow Court. You're taking down the Shadow Court. I
Well,
knew Saren was lying to.
What did he tell you?
That he was on a world tour.
Yeah. Well, technically he is.
Yeah.
We're
Hmm.
just along for the ride.
And who is that one over there?
As?
No, the other one.
Soul?
No,
Or
the other one.
Carmack?
Sarah.
No, the one with the really dark armor and it's like 10 feet tall.
Cormac.
you're kind of freaking me out.
Thea looks behind. Is there anything there?
You don't see anything.
Yeah, there's no one there.
Who all hears? Is this just like between these three?
Yeah, Zol, are you there?
She wanted to talk to
Carmack.
no, well, yes, but I was thinking more shoot, why can't I remember his name now? The dark and broody one.
Devlin?
Devlin?
Devlin, yeah. She wanted to talk to Devlin, so originally I wasn't planning on being a part of this, but
That's fine.
I
So yeah,
can
it's
be.
just Alara and Thea
Okay.
right now.
I
So
think
it
you're
is
seeing a
true.
ghost. What's true?
How much do you know about boundaries? As she like leans in closer to you all.
That you're really close to my boundary right now. That's kind of weird. And she like leaning back.
Oh, sorry.
Are you talking
Well-
about this between the boundary of Oros, our reality, and beyond?
Yes, that exact one. It has been
Okay.
said by the spirit of the moon, sun, and stars that the boundaries of our world are thinning, weakening almost. And at this time, Devlin kind of walks over and says, "Ah, you're right. And I believe it has everything to do with shards resurfacing."
Zol will see Devlin walk over, and so she'll walk over too. Shards resurfacing?
Yes. That if one has been found, and he looks at Thea, then there must be others looking for.
They are. And she rubs her hand.
Got the gist of that when big, scary meadow man came.
Oh, so he is here.
What?
I think maybe the shard has something attached to it that she's singing. She whispers to Thea.
It has something attached to it?
I mean, it's the demonic shard. Demonic things tend to latch on to things. I've read.
You know much of the demons.
Well, I read a lot.
Sure.
It's intriguing.
So there's things actually in the shard.
That makes sense.
Like a soul?
Souls.
Hmm. Maybe it claims the souls that it's touched by. That's why you can't touch it. Is your soul in a shard,
I
Devlin?
don't know. I don't know.
And that's all Laura really says. She looks at Devlin and then back to Thea.
I'm starving. What's there to eat?
You
Souls?
can have some of this jerky. She'll toss over some, I don't know, boar jerky.
Did you cure this yourself?
Nah, I got it at the market. It's all right, but it's you know, something sustenance.
He takes a bite into it. Not bad. He looks around. He says, "So, are there sleeping quarters here, or?"
Kind of just find a corner and sleep.
Like camping, but in the air and dangerously in the air.
It's really pretty at night, though.
But what if there's a storm?
You fly above it.
Do you
Or we
need
all go
separate
into-
quarters or?
No,
Out of
but
air.
I would like to at least be alone for a little bit.
Hard to get that in
Okay.
here, up here.
Well, why don't
I'm
we?
going to work on that for us all. And he
Wait,
goes
what?
over to the he just sits down, draws a sigil on the wall, and he starts doing an incantation.
Laura's like really close, like leaning in, studying it, and kind of drawing in her notebook. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Priya.
Yes. Priya, Thea. Our names are very similar.
You're right, they are. Behind us.
I'm sorry.
Or
The the what?
saw something behind us while we were talking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You keep cutting out, Lauren. I can't hear you.
What did it look like?
There we go.
A dark, giant, shadowy knight in dark armor.
Sounds about right.
Can
I
you
don't
talk
know.
to him?
He's
His
not here
soul.
anymore.
He's gone. Well, maybe there's something I can do. Or stable, if that's even what I would call it.
Stable. Like
don't
where
know.
the horses sleep?
No. Like, it like unsettled. Maybe that's why something came out of it that you saw.
Oh, I see. Um, I have to chart something really quick. Hold on. And she goes over to where Saren and Cormac are, like the helm, the captain. And she pulls out one of the maps from her bag and like traces it out, and she starts like telling Saren and Cormac like how to map out the stars, and she stays there, leaving just you three. And then Azriel, what did you want to do?
Was kind of talking with Soren and Cormac about like everything like I was saying down at the dock, and like kind of like having a laugh over being able to escape again.
Not bad. That's quite good. But now we know we cannot dock it at Crimson anymore.
No, unless give me another bag full of papers and we can go again.
I can definitely find some parchment for you.
At least
Yeah.
we know.
And he like does a little like three-part knock onto the one of the crates near the steering wheel, and it pops open and a bottle of whiskey pops out, and he goes, all right, I feel like you deserve this. And he pours out 3 shots for you, Cormac.
Cheers.
It's the beginning of a great friendship.
A lifelong friendship.
And he throws it back, puts it down, takes a shot, stacks it up, and puts the bottle down. And he kind of just like looks out onto the beautifulness of the clouds and the oranges and the sunset, just beautifulness of sailing the open sea, but it's just clouds instead of water and waves. And Saren sits back into the captain's chair, kind of puts his feet up, props it up on the cargo, and he goes, so tell me, where are you from again?
Backwaters in the marsh. The lovely
Right.
little I mean, if you want specifics. the lovely region of Coventry.
Ooh, witch cream. She's quite a bitch, actually.
She's not as bad as everyone makes her out. A little crazy, but when you're the Queen of Coventry, witches be damned.
That's all right. I'm from Briar Hollow, Merkmire. Not too far, just on the other side of Skaldar.
Well
Skaldar
done.
tried to enlist me into their army when I was young. I did for a little bit. And then I've met Cormac, and well, he's like my brother. Saved me a few times here and there, but we've been on adventures together quite some time. I trust him with everything. And Cormac goes, "Oh, come on now, Saren. You know you've saved me too." And he's like, "Oh, pish posh. We've saved each other." And he kind of like leans his head against his best friend's shoulder, and he looks at Azrael, and he says, how long have you been in the business for?"
Ever since I was 18.
Like me.
Yes. I mean, it started in Coventry when Witch Queen had my family removed from the coven.
Removed or executed?
One and the same. Can't have one without the other. Um, but that started a quest for me to be able to go out and help protect those who couldn't, take up the bounties, bring in the bad guys. I mean, I've done my fair share of work for the Witch Queen herself.
Ah. No chance of you ever going back to her?
Going back to her? No. No, back to Coventry. I mean, I'll take me wherever the money and wherever the evil goes. For now, I'm stuck with the princess. I was told to guard her, and that is what I will do.
So she is a princess.
I mean, she acts like one, so
She's quite pretty.
well, too. She is pretty. Goody two shoes as well, as we've come to know.
You
Plus,
go
there's
with that?
Alara. I used to, but
She alright?
as fate decided, she has come back from the seas.
See.
That being said, I don't know.
Well, you've proved yourself alright in my book, getting us out of some fees and stuff. So if you ever want to visit Coventry, Quicksilver's yours. We'll go
Or
there.
appreciate it.
Of course.
Might have some unfinished business as well to handle.
Unfinished business, as in fighting.
Well, a little bit, but I wouldn't drag you into it.
I think I'd like to.
Fair enough.
Besides, I've been meaning to install some cannons around here.
Ooh, that would be fun.
There's a lot of work I need on this ship. Oh, hey, what's up, Bria? So you need those star charts, right? Yeah. Right here. She pulls out from her bag. So if we take this path here, we will have to either go through Iron Ridge with the dwarves, which I think might be the safer option, but it is going to get a little chillier and there's a lot of turbulence. There is a smoother path towards Skaldar, but as we know right now, the war and everything, we might be in restricted airspace. Safer travel with the ship, but not so much with safe passage again. What do you suggest? Saren looks over the map and the star charts, and he says, "So, rougher winds to the Iron Ridge Mountains, but we'd only be dealing with dwarves, and they're pretty hospitable, right?" "I suppose so." And Skuldar, is a no-fly zone, but smooth and safe travel. Yes. We only have to worry about one thing. Saren says, one thing. Thought we just had to worry about three things. Well, besides that, there's rumors that I've heard through the winds that there's a dragon reborn. And well, it patrols the skies between Iron Ridge and Skoldar. Ah, so what you're saying is there's a dragonfly path to the ways that we need to go.
Reborn as in recently? Or reborn as an adult dragon?
Reborn, as in resurrected.
Ooh, interesting.
The winds say that it's not just flesh, though. It is mechanical.
I mean, I know the dwarves like their tinkering, but I doubt that they would ever do something like that. And I don't even know if they had the magical prowess to do something like that. Are we sure it's nothing with the elves?
Well, here, that's the conundrum. Dwarves are tinkerers and have a bit of ability to create a clock dragon, whereas Skildar has every ability to raise the dead, and their fascination with dragons. It could be either one of them.
Or it could be both.
The dwarves and the orcs of Skildar are working together.
They
If
could
they're
be.
working together, this war could evolve into Sunscorch and Coventry, and then by ways of Murkmire, straight into Glenhaven and Elvara.
They could be prepping for something bigger. And if they are, then there's no there's no guarantee that the dwarves will be protective if we go to the mountains.
There's no way that we'll be protectors at all if the war begins.
So, do you want to get the rest of the crew up here? We can make a vote.
That's a good idea. Alright, you lot. Come on, big meeting.
Still walks over.
Okay. Alara
Hey,
walks
Desmond.
over and she sees how close Saren is to Cormac and kind of gets a little misty eye a little bit and like looks away.
One minute.
A pot of whiskey for you too.
No, I'm keeping track of how much Devlin is clocking of Alara's
Alara's what?
Looks.
Oh.
her moments.
Her what?
You've seen every single one of them.
Her,
Oh God.
Hiding her
Looks?
hand, yeah, her hiding her hand, like everything that she's doing, like her little like quirks, her moments,
yes.
her story.
The hearts in her eyes that are bugging out every time she looks at him, like.
She didn't do that.
No, he's noticed her hand. He's noticed her watching him enchant. He's noticed. He just now noticed that moment of her looking at Theron and Cormac and getting a little misty eyed when that happened. He doesn't say anything. He's noticed. But Saren explains everything that you guys just. So, any question?
Undead mechanical dragon.
Sounds like a story time for you. You'd love to get in close and get details of that.
Um, would Zelena have heard of any of this? Like even as like rumor?
The only rumors that you've heard recently, I mean, you know that Skildar is a very war-heavy region, kind of nation of just war and iron and clockwork and metal and that type of thing. You have not heard of a necromancy or rebuilding a dragon or like that. You
Yikes.
know it's in the wheelhouse of skilled art to be doing something like this.
It
And
seems fitting.
yeah.
Do
And
you
with the dwarves' knowledge of like tinkering and things like that, that if they were to get together, they might be very powerful and unstoppable.
So the question that I am now thinking is with the artifact popping up, is it possible that they could have somehow got their hands on it, on one of the crystals, and are using that to power this undead mechanical dragon?
Does it even work like that?
How come the Concord hasn't done anything about it? I thought they're like the magical law people here.
If the Concord knows anything. We're talking about skilled.
It's a war-heavy region. Things happen all the time here, but and if they do know, who's to say that they're not prepping back home? They might not want this information to be spreading anyways. They just might be preparing back home to make sure that they can control it if it gets to them. Or when it gets to them.
Or maybe they do know.
Waiting to strike.
Yeah, or they're on the offense already. That being said, we have to make a decision on which path we go through. If we go to the mountains, it's going to be rocky, but it's potentially safer with the dwarves being hospitable. We might be able to get some answers through the dwarves that way. If we go through the war-torn area, it's potential for not only to be attacked by this dragon, considering I feel like it's going to be more towards the war-torn area than the mountains, but you never know. And
That way.
but it is a smoother flight. But it's restricted airspace. So we could be easily, yeah. So it's gonna be harder to maneuver if there anything is coming our way.
Headed
It's
to see the
chances both ways.
dwarves.
You
And just
are-
move.
What did you say, Zol?
Sounds like we're headed to see the dwarves.
You go for dwarves. Okay.
And risk the Zeppelin going down.
If we take it slower, which I know, the last thing we want to do is take
Storms
longer.
Storms don't go slow. There's only so much overhead flying we can do. We fly too high, altitude sickness, and it gets frosty up. We also only have so much energy.
Do we park the Zeppelin and go on foot?
That would take
What is
months.
About months.
we don't have?
I think our only option is to go through the war-torn area.
But
And if
shoot
we
us down.
if we're going to be lower to the ground anyway, it's better to be closer to the ground and shot down than up in the air and attacked by a dragon.
We could maybe cast an illusion spell on the ship. Maybe? Make us invisible?
Do you
It'll
have that
only
kind of
last-
magic?
It'll only last so long, too.
That's fine. I mean, if we go through the war-torn area, we can use an illusion. We can prep an illusion spell to be used in case of an emergency. Whether it's a dragon attacking us or being shot at, it'll at least give us a chance to get a head start on getting away, and or to park somewhere and not be in a time bomb.
We're talking about a dragon. Who's to say that the dragon doesn't see straight through our illusion?
There's that too.
Very true.
I also don't have an illusion spell yet. I will
Would
find one.
would Zol know of any other ways to get through here?
That's the way. Like that. Those are the two paths to get over to Sunscorch.
Um,
My vote
No
is through
Skoldar.
Skoldar.
Goldar.
We don't have what it takes to go up with a dragon that's not alive.
And Alara, I mean, a smoother ride is typically better for you right now. You don't trust this machine anyways.
Oh no, I was gonna vote Scolder no matter what. I want to see this dragon. I want to see what makes it.
The dragon's in the mountains.
It's,
Oh, I thought he
it's
was
in
in the
both.
plane.
It could be either one.
Mhm.
We don't know where it is, or even again, it could all be rumors. But
I mean, maybe
since
Scoldar is
Spirit
like
Girl
playing
over
focus
there
on us.
says that she's heard about it, I believe it a little bit more.
We could always try the Spirit Marsh. Stop there.
What?
Spirit Marsh. It is a wetland that borders Skildar and the Murkmire. It is where our ancestors gather the dead.
To see if it's actually to see if the dragon's there or to cross.
Exactly.
Okay.
If there are dragon spirits there who say we cannot connect with them,
I mean,
Okay.
you do bring a good point. Can we make it there and stop on the way?
It's on the way.
if we stop at the Spirit Marsh, there isn't really much civilization for energy. We would have to go to Ashspire, the last bastion of humanity in Skildar, to fuel up if we stopped at the Spirit Marsh.
Is that a no-fly space?
It's the border. It could change by the end of the day today.
Heard. Well, worst
What?
comes to worst. I mean, if we
What
do
plan?
that,
I think it's worth it to see if dragon is really powered by the shard, because if it's
see if this dragon's even real. I mean, that takes priority over anything. That could be our downfall. If we don't know if this thing's real and if it blindsides us, it could be
real.
again.
We could just assume it's real and do our best to get out of there as
Right.
fast as possible.
But
That's
if the
fast.
dragon spirits know what it's made out of, it could at least potentially give us an advantage. Now, if they don't, then it's a waste of a trip. But if they
there's even
say it
dragon
could,
spirits.
right, if there's any dragon spirits even there,
And
there's a
what
lot of
if
what
there's
big ifs.
other undead there that are like not so friendly undead? You know,
I
I mean, like there's spirits that are undead, but then there's undead.
Az will tap his like sword, and be like,
Right.
"It's what weapons are made for." I can handle that. Again, I think figuring out if the dragon is real and what it's made out of is priority.
Knowing thy enemy.
It's the best way. I'm a monster hunter at heart too, so a good monster fight is always fun.
I agree.
Neil sounds like a man with a plan, and I like it. I say we do what he
So the
says.
Spirit Marsh is where we're going. Yes, Priya. The Spirit Marsh. So can you map out a way? Yes. And she closes her eyes, opens them, they're milky again. She charts it out, just drawing on the map. We'll be there by tomorrow.
Or
Perfect. Thank you, Priya. Your resources are invaluable.
Guess we should all get some rest.
Yes, rest it is. I really don't like this. All right,
Don't
Cormac,
like
buddy.
what?
The dead. No, thank you. Dead should just stay dead.
I agree.
Also, I'm really not looking for spirits.
what? You broke up.
Really not looking forward to any dead that I've,
Ah,
possibly caused.
I mean, fair.
wait,
And
Priya, that means we can speak to like our ancestors, like somebody who's recently passed or anybody who's passed?
Any spirit that has entered the spirit marsh of the dawn of time.
So you mean like entered the spirit marsh? What do you mean by that? Like their bodies?
They're spirits.
How would a
So
spirit know to go to the marsh?
they're kind of attracted to it, if you will. The spirits, though, that are summoned aren't always what you want.
We could see somebody who's passed.
Mhm.
Someone who might have answers.
There's a circle of druids that speak with them, and I will let them know where I come.
Maybe we can have more questions answered than just an undone dragon.
I think this is an excellent idea.
Just once we cross into the spirit marsh, we are officially in Skildar. So be prepared for that.
So best behavior. I can do that.
If they're still
Do
allowing
that as
people
well.
in. All right. I am quite tired after all this divining. And where do we sleep, Saren? Aaron, like looking over, like is swinging on his hammock. He's like, "Do you see fit?" And Devlin, he comes over and he goes, "Actually, I've been working on that. I've done a modification to the tiny hut spell. You can place your hand here, and a sigil glows on the wall, and a small compartment just for yourself will appear for you, and you can sleep there. You can add whatever you want to it. It is your own personal home."
That's very fitting. Thank you. We don't have to see that we're flying thousands of feet up in the air.
Exactly. Being pursued by a shadow card, possibly a mechanical dragon.
And others things probably because of Saren.
Hey,
Hey,
I mean, you're
you
probably right.
yeah, okay.
All right. So tomorrow it is. We stop, get some supplies, and the spirit mark by evening. Yay!
I mean, maybe Lost Lover is gonna be there to woo you again.
Ugh, don't mention that. Did you say something to you?
I'll take first watch.
Not that it's necessary, but all right.
Well, I'm just saying if we're going towards Skoldar, we don't know where the dragon could be.
All right. I mean, I guess you're right. Well, I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone. And he
Good
rolls
night.
over, and immediately starts snoring.
How can people do that?
I have no idea.
Zol's
Never
gonna
mind.
look at Zol's gonna look at Thea and say, "You okay staying up by yourself, friend? I could really use a good workout and get some good sweat in, you know?"
No, everyone's had quite an eventful day. Go ahead and get some rest. I am just gonna spend some time alone.
Well, thank you. If you need me, you know where I am. And then Zol's. So Devlin said to place your hand over something, and then you could
Yes,
like create a little
there's
room.
a sigil here, and he puts his hand over, and it glows red, and a doorway appears. He opens it, and you just see just a small little cabin room.
I see a small little cabin. You said.
Hmm.
Does it automatically fill with what I want, or do I like have to take things in there?
Yeah, you would have to put stuff in there. It's literally just like a little, like, hammock, a porthole, and a dresser. Like nothing.
Nothing crazy. Okay. So Zol's gonna go in there. She's gonna get a little workout in, and then she's gonna pass out in the hammock.
Okay.
Alara is going to just nod her goodnight and put her left hand up to go through the door. And then she's going to not sleep in her hammock. She'll take her hammock down, cover the porthole so she can't see it, and sleep on the ground on her little mat as close as the ground she can.
Okay. Ed?
He will walk up and open his little cubby and just get inside and kind of sit down and just kind of like sharpen his sword slowly, thinking about what he's about to come up against, preparing that mental fight.
Okay. And then Thea? And
Thea
you're-
is going to be at the front of the ship. She's going to be kind of sitting cross-legged on like little. Is it the bow? That's the front of the ship. Sure.
The bow is the front,
I don't
stern's the
know.
back.
Stern is
Turns
the
the back.
back.
Okay. So she's gonna be sitting. And she's going to have her bag in her lap. Still around her, her, her shoulder, but she's going to start praying to Solus to not necessarily cleanse it, but kind of protect the shard and protect her and her group from its energy.
Roll religion.
$17.
Okay.
And she just spends just the time. She has like a little. She casts light, just a little tiny light, and she is going to just read her tome.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything before we end tonight's session?
No.
Alrighty.
She's gonna cry herself to sleep.
It do be like that sometimes.
Mhm.
Why isn't he sleeping in my little cubby with me? Why is he in his own cubby? He starts putting the ritual up. She like looks over like, ooh, look, a ritual. Smells like fire and brimstone.
Fire and brimstone, bonfire. Man.
Oh,
Man smells.
And then
can't wait to spar with him.
Okay, any questions, comments,